Hello everyone, welcome again in Eng-Man YouTube channel. So in this video, we will continue our episodes of 5 things you need to know. And we are still in CCUS topic. Okay, we will talk a lot about CCUS topic because it's a very hot topic right now. So it's pretty good if we obtain and gain more knowledge about this issue. Okay, so let's go. Let's check the first thing. All right, let me change my pointer. Okay, let's check. So this is the first thing. In a closed aquifer of limited size, accommodation space for the injected CO2 is created only as a result of medium and water compressibility. In this case, the storage efficiency, all right, storage efficiency is given by this beta M plus beta W, okay, multiplied by delta P max. Okay, which is this one, and the delta P max is maximum pressure minus PI. And beta is the compressibility, whereas P is pressure, and the subscript N, M, and W stand for the porous medium and water, respectively. And PI is the aquifer initial pressure, and P max is the maximum allowed pressure. Talking about, safe pressure below the fracturing pressure. So here we can see that the thing that will give space for the injected CO2 in the storage is none other than the compressibility in this case. Okay, so compressibility of the porous medium and the compressibility of the water in the aquifer. Right, so you can see compressibility, especially in CO2 sequestration in deep saline aquifer, is very, very important, and it will determine the storage efficiency. Okay, so simply put, compressibility will have a very high significance on your storage efficiency. Okay, and if you want to read more, you can go to this paper. This is a very, very good paper. Okay, so you can go and read the paper. All right. And the second one, such that depending on the medium compressibility, the storage efficiency E for closed system would vary in the range of 0.08 to 0.75% per 1 MPa increase in average aquifer pressure. But more typical values would be in the order of 0.1% per megapascal. Again, from the same paper. Right, so you can see, unfortunately, the storage efficiency is very small, 0.08 to 0.75% per 1 megapascal increase in the average aquifer pressure, or typically 0.1% per MPa. Okay, so this is it. The storage efficiency is very small, but don't forget, talking about deep saline aquifer, we have a huge amount of storage capacity. Okay, so when they meet together, the low storage efficiency and the huge storage capacity, in the end, all right, at the end of the day, you will get sufficient storage to store your CO2. Okay, so that's okay. And we go to the third, again from the same paper. Generally, capillary forces have a smaller effect on the evolution of the CO2 plumb, hence on storage efficiency, than buoyancy and viscous force. If storage efficiency is defined in relation to the areal footprint of the CO2 plumb, then this analysis shows that high CO2 buoyancy and low viscosity compared with those of aquifer water lead to lower storage efficiency for the same amount of injected CO2. Okay, so if you go and read this review paper, you can see if the buoyancy of the CO2 is high and with low viscosity, okay, then the CO2, after it is injected, it will just go to the top section of the reservoir due to the buoyancy. It will just go up, okay, go vertically up and arrive below the cap rock and then just spread. Okay, so it will give the it will give low storage efficiency. If you want high storage efficiency, then you will expect that CO2 will be spread across the reservoir, not just on the top section of the storage. Okay, if the CO2 buoyancy is low and viscosity is relatively high compared to the aquifer water, then some of the CO2 will be left even at the lower section of the reservoir, which gives you greater storage efficiency. All right. Again, if you have high CO2 buoyancy with low viscosity compared to the water, CO2 will only go to the top section below the cap rock and stays there and spread there. Okay. But if you have lower CO2 buoyancy and high viscosity, the CO2 can be trapped even at the lower section of the reservoir. And as the CO2 goes to the top due to buoyancy, more and more CO2 will be trapped, which will of course give you higher storage efficiency. Okay, so that's a very, very, very important. And fourth, it's short one. Now it's another paper. It's of course another good paper. You can read and download and learn more about it. So most of the existing saline aquifer storage operations inject into silica clastics, and only a few projects have injected into carbonate reservoir. This tells you something. Okay, so if you are investigating a prospect of CO2 storage in saline aquifer right now, and the storage are from carbonate reservoirs, then you need to be careful. All right, there will be higher risk if you perform the CO2 sequestration in carbonate reservoir, okay, because of acidification issue, something like that, all right? But this is not to discourage you to investigate and assess carbonate reservoir, carbonate aquifer, but to just give you something to think about, all right? Before you, you know, implement the project, be careful and let's, yeah, investigate, learn, and do research and do lab measurement so that you can be sure that the storage is good. And the last thing, particularly Sleipner, Insala, and Snowfit demonstrate that given the right geological and reservoir conditions, injecting industrial scale volumes in the order of 1 million ton per year of CO2 into saline aquifers is achievable. All right, so at least from these three example, big example there, Sleipner, Insala, and Snowfit, we can be sure that it's proven. We can inject CO2 at the amount of 1 million ton per year into saline aquifers, and they are successful. Okay, so this should encourage you and this should encourage us all so that let's learn, let's read paper about it, and let's perform modeling simulation so that, yeah, one day we can use the knowledge to implement the project of CO2 geological sequestration. All right, so did you know those 5 things before? See you on the next 5 things you need to know. Thank you.